Hey guys, you know, I never really had the desire to get what's inside of this box, and you can tell from the title of this video that it's one of the new Mavics. When the Mavics and the Spark came out, I had no real desire to get one. I like my big old Phantoms. They're hugely stable, they're hugely easy to fly, they have hugely better sensors, and a hugely better camera. If you get my drift, it's huge. I did somewhat envy the compactness of the smaller drones and that ability to slip it into a pocket or a backpack and just take off on an adventure. There are several places that my wife and I hiked to that I was just not willing to lug the Phantom. Then all the hype started about a new DJI release, and I was sincerely hoping for a Phantom 5, but no such luck. It was just a updated Mavic. How boring. But in fairness, I decided to watch a few of the reviews from people I do trust, and those reviews were very enthusiastic about these new drones. It was as if they took the best of the Mavics and the best of the Phantoms and combined them into a new drone, but only better. I saw my future. This is a drone that I can carry in the front seat of my truck with me, and I can carry it in a small backpack. It has sensors every which way but up, and actually it has those sensors too. It has a 1-inch CMOS sensor, which gives 4 times the effective pixel coverage of the 1/2.3 sensors. And it has OcuSync 2.0, which gives it a better connection to the remote over even longer distances, up to 5 miles in ideal circumstances. It has LED lights on the bottom that can light up your landing area in low light situations. It has. I have a Mavic 2 Pro, to be precise, and I anticipate this to be my new go-to drone for every situation. The Phantoms are going to have to take a backup role. I think this little baby is going to be the Phantom killer. I never, ever believed I would be saying that. I really didn't. However, if this little drone can do everything I've been seeing on the other reviews, then this is the Phantom killer. So, let's take it out of the box. And there we have it. That's pretty simple, right? I felt like you wanted to see what was in the box more than you wanted to watch me take it out. So if I cheated any of you with that, I can put a sped up version at the end of the video. Rick over at Drone Valley started doing what he calls turbo unboxings, and I kind of like that concept. Thanks, Rick. So once again, this is the Mavic 2 Pro, which varies from the Mavic 2 Zoom, I believe, only in its camera and maybe the resultant software it takes. And as far as I can ascertain, everything else except for the camera is exactly identical. It has a amazingly, enormously appealing feel to it. One of my initial concerns was that it would be flimsy. I was fearful that the legs would be easy to break off or that the camera would be easily damaged, and it looks like I can lay that particular fear to rest. So let me cover a little bit of the product profile, some of that technical stuff that nobody likes, but everybody needs to hear. So this drone has an omnidirectional vision system and infrared sensing systems. It has a fully stabilized 3-axis gimbal with the previously mentioned 1-inch sensor. It's a 1-inch CMOS sensor that was jointly developed by DJI and Hasselblad. It'll shoot in 4K video, and it'll take 20 megapixel photos. And you can order some neutral density filters from DJI or from third-party manufacturers. And I have set on order, and I'll review them when they come in. The new OcuSync 2.0 technology is built into the remote controller, and it will serve better than the old Lightbridge technology did. It gives a maximum transmission range of 5 miles. Now, note that distance, that 5 miles, is only under ideal circumstances. If you have trees, if you have buildings, large metal objects, transmission towers, wind, etc. in the way, you'll not get that distance. In fact, I doubt you'll ever get that distance. So let's take a look at the controller. It's carried forward the detachable control sticks. You can see they hide them right in here. they simply screw on. That's pretty easy. I'm not sure how stoked I am about them being in here and for storage and whatnot, but it would make it easier to pack without these sticking up. And my main concern is that I would lose one of these. I mean, that easy. So I probably better order a replacement pair while I'm at it. The fully charged controller is good for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think the one for the Phantom 4 is good for like 5 hours. I do like the little slider on the side right here. It allows you to toggle back and forth between sport mode, position mode, and tripod mode. And that's really it as far as the controller goes. If you own a drone, especially a DJI drone, the control will be very intuitive for you. Not much has changed. The Mavic 2 Pro has a maximum speed of 44.7 miles an hour and a max flight time of 31 minutes. Once again, that's only under ideal circumstances. In fact, this actual figure was achieved in an environment that didn't have any wind and while flying at a consistent 15.5 miles per hour at sea level. Obviously, your mileage may vary. So the gimbal cover on the Mavic 2 Pro is a pretty simple affair. It's not a two-piece like the previous Mavic. It's a one-piece and it comes off pretty easily, just like this. To start with, you unfold the front arms, followed by the rear arms. If the propeller blades aren't already attached, you can go ahead and put them on. They have the easy attach systems where you simply press down and turn. And the drone did come with 2 sets of these. Now by a set, I mean a set is a pair, 2 of them. It comes with 2 sets, meaning you have just enough blades to put on your copter. And then it does come with 1 spare set. So let's look at this. You can see this has a little white marking right here. And these 2 motors have the white marks that correspond with it, and it goes on just like that. Okay, so it's real easy to put on. The battery is in a hibernation mode, so you'll need to charge it before you use it. Now this can take an hour and a half, so don't forget to get it started. And while you're at it, DJI is insistent that you update the firmware before your first flight. I've gotten several emails about it. It's on some videos, it's on the inside of the box lid reminding people to do it. So you can update it through the Assistant 2 program on your computer or through the DJI Go 4 app. And this is how the battery comes out. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the different parts of the aircraft. It has these forward and the backwards, the downwards, and the lateral, which you can't see because that's in the way, and the lateral sensing systems. The antennas for this drone are in the front legs. One new feature on this drone is that it has these right here, these LED landing lights, and they come on in low light situations to illuminate the ground below the drone so it can make a safe landing. Then I think you can turn them on automatically if you just want to have them on more often. So on the side right here is the USB-C port, and then right here is the link button and the linking status indicator. On the other side is the micro SD slot. Now there is on this drone a built-in 8 GB SD card. That way, in case you ever forget your SD card, you've got one in the drone that you can use. I keep multiple SD cards just in case I forget one or in case the one I'm using gets full, and that's happened before. But this would be a lifesaver for anyone who only has one card. So with the remote controller, you just go ahead and you unfold the mobile device clamps down here on the bottom and the antennas. This is literally the first time I'm doing this, so I'm a little clumsy, that's why. I've ordered a little gizmo that will allow me to use my iPad with this, as I'm not fond of using my phone. The screen's a little too small and it's harder for me to see. So figure out which RC cable you need to connect to your phone or to your iPad. It comes with the lightning cable installed, but they also include a USB-C and a micro USB uh, with all your stuff. So you just have to go through all the little packages. So this is pretty much like the other controllers. It's just laid out a little bit differently. You have a power button right here, and you have the return to home button right here. You have the pause button right here. I'm not going to go over all the functions because right now I don't remember what they are, and I'm going to have to play with it just to find out. But the stuff I've watched makes it look really easy to use. So I had intended to make this as really in-depth unboxing and review of the parts and the pieces and what each button does. And number one, that's a pain in the butt. And number two, you probably don't want to see it. You want to just see the pieces and you want to know how it flies and how good it is. I will say, like I said before, this has a little control switch on the side which allows you to switch between sport mode, position mode, and tripod. So I mean, I really appreciate that addition. And it's also got this little 5D or 5-direction button that allows you to increase and decrease your EV value, to recenter your gimbal, and bring up your DJI Go 4 intelligent flight menu. So at the battery button, the power button, I'm sorry. With the power button, you press once to check the battery level, and you can see it says it's 66%. And then you press it and hold it like most of the other DJI stuff to turn it on. It's got the control 1 and 2 buttons right here, and these are customizable. The default, which is C1, is a center focus, while the default C2 is playback. The gimbal dial controls the tilt of your camera. Right here is the record button, and the record button is the bane of my existence. I cannot tell you how many times I've lost a great shot because I forgot to hit the damn record button, and then to look and make sure it was recording. DJI really needs to come out with a failsafe for that. Something that when the drone leaves the ground, it reminds you that the record is not on. I don't want it to start automatically because I don't necessarily want to record every time I leave the ground, but it sure would help to have that reminder. This is the focus shutter button, and you press this halfway to autofocus and then all the way to take a picture. And then I believe this is the aperture shutter adjustment dial, and you use this dial to adjust exposure compensation on the fly when you're in P mode. If you are in aperture or manual mode, it will adjust the aperture, and when you're in S mode or sport mode, it will adjust your shutter speed. Okay, that was another one of my poor attempts at unboxing, and the bad thing is you only get one shot to do your unboxing because you can't rebox it. So if you stuck with me all the way through this, then God bless you. I haven't flown this yet, and it's nighttime, as you may be able to see behind me, and I'm really wanting to get out there. So before I do, I need to go ahead and charge the batteries, and I want to do a quick review of the Mavic 2 Fly More combo package, so stay tuned. Hope you're excited about this. I know I am.